Hello and welcome. Now I will show you how to create a GUI based keygen. So go and download this file from the resource section for this lesson and extract it and put it here. Inside you will find two files, a GUI Keygen template and an icon file. Let's make a copy of this file and let's rename it as GUI Keygen, and then we'll work on this while retaining the original template. So let's open this now and run it, see what it does. And so you get a GUI Keygen. So you can enter any name you want and click on generate, and it will generate output a serial key for you, similar to the command line based serial key. So in order to create this keygen, you can download any icon file and put it in the same folder as the ASM file, and you can head over to this website to download icons, which is over here. You can choose the icon files to download, which one you prefer. Now let's see how it works. So here you see the format is different. It's GUI. Entry start is the same. You enter the start section over here, and then over here you include file for the GUI based program. Here you declare some constants. These are used for creating the dialog box. Then here you have your data section, where you have a string with empty content, empty string, and you have a string format to create this string format. Over here you create a string for getting input from the user, and you create a system time data struct to store the local time, and a final serial key string to store the generated serial key. When the program starts, you enter the code section at the start label and invoke the module handle function. This is a new syntax. Let me introduce you to it now. Previously, when we wanted to create a call to a function, we will push something like this, and then call get module the handle. So another way to do it is like this. Use the invoke function. Same with this invoke function. If you did it the long way, it will be push 0, push dialog prop, push 0, push keygen dialog, push EAX, then finally call your dialog box param. This was the way we did in the past. Now if you wanted to shorten your code, you can do it in one line like this. So this is the meaning of invoke. It is similar to this. Right, and invoke here also to exit the program. Now in the GUI based Windows program, it is event driven. Event driven means that it is not linear. That means it will generate an event when the user interacts with the window by either clicking on it or typing something. That generates the event, and every event that is generated will be handled by the event handler. So in this case, the dialog box param function creates this dialog box and also supplies the event handler for the dialog box. The dialog box event handler is called dialog proc. So dialog proc is a kind of an event handler. It starts from here and goes all the way to here, and proc. Proc starts here, proc means procedure, and ends here. So this one is only triggered when some event happens. So in this case, the event handler dialog prompt handles these kind of events. You can specify what event you want to trap. To trap an event means to receive the event and handle it. So in this case, you can handle the dialog init event, command event, close event, and many more. So we are only interested in these 3 events. So the init dialog event is triggered when the window is first created. So this is how you check which event is being created. So in this case, you compare the MSG variable, which is coming from here, and see if it's init dialog. If it's init dialog, you will jump to the init dialog label, which is down here, and then call these 2 functions, set dialog item text on the handle for the dialog. Handle means ID. So HWNDDLG is referring to this, which is referring to this. So it is setting the ID name ID. ID name ID is referring to this. This first input. How do I know that? Because from here you create ID name, and ID name is used to create this. And all these are constants used for creating the dialog box. Okay, I'll explain it later and when we reach the last section in the resource section. So over here you set the default text to size init text. Size init text is empty string, which is here, empty string. So when the program first starts, it will be a blank file. It will be blank input. You don't see anything. That's what we are doing here. We are setting blank input for this as well as this. So the second one is referring to ID output, referring to this. So both will be blank when we first start. That is the meaning of these 2 lines. Alright, and then we jump to done when we finish, so that it will not fall through and execute all this. The jump done label is down here. It is to exit the procedure when the event has been handled. So this is the init dialog. And then the command event is captured when the user click on generate, and then it will capture it here, and then it will jump to the label W command to handle the click event. So the WM command label is here. So over here it will compare which button was clicked, and this is the syntax for getting the mouse button that was clicked. And then from over here, if we generate that the left mouse was clicked, then it will jump to this generate key label. So when you jump to generate key label, it will do the same thing like what we did in the command line version for this program. So this part is the same, no difference. Alright, and then when it finishes the generate key, in this case here, it will use a new function. Instead of printing it to the screen, it will print to another file. That is the meaning of sprintf. Previously we used printf, but now we use sprintf. Sprintf means you are printing all this using this string format, save it to another string called serial key string. String format will contain this format, sddd, and then it will substitute all this sddd with the various part of the date. Day from here, this one will be your month, this will be your year, and this will be your name, which you enter here. And then here you will use the format to replace all this and create a new string and save the result in the serial key string. So serial key will contain the result of all this operation, all these parameters. And then once we get the serial key, we can invoke the set dialog item text to show the serial key inside here. That's why the last parameter is serial key. So whatever you put in the last parameter will show up inside the next box. Then when you finish, you have to clean the stack as usual. There's 6 parameter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you times 6, and then you jump done, come out here. So this is how it works. So the rest of the usage is the same. When you are trying to create your own customized keygen, you might need to change a few things like paste this code, replace this code with the code you used from the x64dbg using the plugin copy to ASM, and you might need to change the format string as well to suit your serial key. And if you want to change the icon, you can change the icon here, key icon. So now let me explain what's the meaning of this new section. This new section is a specification for the design of the user interface. So here you have a directory statement which specifies what type of user interface, RT dialog, and then here you have RT icon, and you want to specify that as well. So and then here you have IT icon group. So these two are for specifying icon. And then over here you set the resource icon type, and then over here you specify the group icon type as well, and over here you specify the icon file. So the only thing you need to change is here. You don't have to touch any of the thing up here. So if you have your own different icon, you give a name based on the icon. So my icon is called icon ICO. That's why I call it key ICO over here. Alright, so whatever icon you put, when you run it or compile it, it will create an executable file containing the icon. So if you were to double click this now, it will run like this. So this is how you change the icon for your exe file. And then the bottom part here is to set other parts of configure other parts of the user interface. For example, this one is a title. You are free to change this. It will show up here. Whatever name you want to put, you can change it here. And this one here is group box. Okay. So over here is your group box, the top one, and then group box is the outline here. Inside the group box, you can put other component. And then this is the second group box down here, which is this. And the text you can change here. This text, enter name will appear here, and output will appear here. So you are free to change this. Okay, then all these numbers here are referring to the dimension, location, and size, which you can tinker with and experiment to change the location, the size, the width, the height. All those are referring to that. Same with this. So this one refers to the group box, dimension, location, and height for the first group box. This one contains the location and dimension of the second group box, so feel free to play with the numbers to see what happens. And this one, edit, refers to this input. So this input is called edit, and you can change the location and the width and the height by playing with these numbers. And then this one refers to this button, and this last one refers to this one. So you can add additional components and also customize your location, position, width, and height as you like by playing with all these parameters here. So that's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.